Are you a people pleaser? Do you spend all of your life trying to make others happy? Let me show you how to change that pattern in your life and be authentically you. I'm Paul. I help people raise their vibration and connect to their higher self. Today I'm talking all about people pleasing. Is it something that you've done in your life? I think people pleasing is a survival mechanism many of us learnt really early on in life, and we learnt it to survive and keep the peace maybe in a difficult home that we may have grown up in. You were the one that had to keep the peace because there was a lot of strife in the family or there was a lot of drama going on. But it's a pattern that we learn early on in age, and it's something that we consciously have to work at to move out of our life. And when we recognize it, I think that is where the power is, because when we accept something, we can actually make amends to fix it in our life. One reason I believe so many of us people please is at our core, we're so afraid of being alone. That is what drives often this behavior in our life, is that we're so scared of ultimately not having love and validation that we're willing to do anything in order to get it in our lives. I think back to when I was really young in high school, and I would go to school and have a zit on my face. And I just remember walking in absolutely terrified, thinking that everyone was going to be so focused on that zit on my face that I was so aware of. But what I came to learn is that those other kids weren't focused on my zit. They were focused on their own zit and their own issues. And I think that's a perfect illustration of how life does work. We so often feel inadequate. We so often think people are judging all of our flaws. But in reality, I've found that they're not. They're judging their own. We live in an age of social media where there's so much focus on validation externally, how many likes that we get, how much validation we get online. I know many of you have had encounters in your life with narcissistic people. And it can seem sometimes like there are so many narcissists out there in society. And there's this interesting relationship between empaths and narcissists. There's this kind of electric connection that sometimes happens. And I think that is because both at their core have a sense of that they're not quite good enough, that they need to get that externally. And so with both types of people, the narcissist and the empath, because they're looking for that validation externally, they attract to each other. And it can be quite a disastrous combination. And many of you, and let me know in the comments your stories, but many of you have had those relationships with narcissistic people. I see so many people, even in the ages of their 50s or their 60s, that are still really much people pleasing when it comes to their parents. Perhaps your parent wanted you to have a certain job or live a certain life, and it just wasn't congruent with who you really are as a person. So many people, even at those ages in life, their 40s and their 50s, are still hooked into this pattern of people pleasing with their parents. Ultimately, where that ends up is a deep-seated resentment toward the parents, because there'll come in a time in your life when you realize that those things don't matter, and maybe you ended up living a life that wasn't authentically you. It was someone else's version of life that they wanted you to live. When we remove remove this habit of people pleasing in our life, we will see so much tremendous change. And you might ask me, how do I stop people pleasing? I've done it my whole life. I don't know how to let that go. It starts, and I always bring it back to self-love. When we fully love and embrace who we are, and we intrinsically know our value, we don't need to get it externally from somebody else. So many of us get it wrong. We're trying so hard to change our external life. But when we change that pattern and we start to transform from within, our life will always project back to us our inner state of being. So that is why I teach so much about self-love, is because when we transform within, our life will transform without, and it will happen every time. It's time for you to let that whole notion go. The notion that you need to people please, that you need validation outside of yourself. And when you transform within, you're going to just start to notice all of the relationships in your life begin to really move and shift. And perhaps people will leave your life, people that you didn't ultimately need anyway. But I believe that those people in your life that you truly need will be there for you. They will love and they will accept you. If this is resonating with you right now, please subscribe to the channel. Your time is way too valuable for you to respond to everyone that's going to criticize you. Because something I had to learn is that not everyone is going to like us. There are people that we ultimately need that are going to love and support us and see our true worth. But ultimately, we're going to get trolls online. We're going to get people that don't like us, people that disagree with us. But it is no measure of our value. Because when we truly value ourselves and we really know our worth internally, then we're not so affected by really what other people think out there. And you know, most of these people you'll never even meet anyway. I know not everyone's gonna like me, what I do, and that's okay. I need to know that my message is gonna resonate with those people it's supposed to resonate with, and it's okay that it doesn't with others. The people in your life that need to be for you will be for you. But most importantly, you need to be for yourself. And when you are fully for yourself, I say, look out world, because you will be authentically in your power and you will be living the destiny and the life you are meant to live and the person that you're meant to be. And if you're not a part of my Facebook group yet, it's Paul Williams Official Group on Facebook. It's a great community of high vibe people that share positive information that is going to help you every day live your full potential. But I'll see you in the next video, and have an amazing week, and namaste.